Methodical. This is a text excerpt from the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Notice the specific phrasing here. The text works best when read as an operating system rather than a motivational manifesto. It's distributed as a free public service and doesn't function like a standard self-help guide. Over the next 5 minutes, you are going to build your own personal Naval OS. We're going to set up a framework to decouple your wealth from your time and detach your happiness from your immediate circumstances. To do this, I want you to open a blank digital document right now. We are going to actively build this 3-part framework together as we go. Approaching your life this way moves personal development away from relying on fleeting motivation. Instead, you're executing a concrete, programmable system of logic. Step 1 is getting the source code. You can access all the foundational material for free at navalmanac.com. But there is a specific mistake most new readers make. They try to read it chronologically, from front to back, like a traditional novel. Look at this excerpt. The book is intentionally non-linear. Find the chapter addressing your current problem and jump directly to it. Keep reading down. Treat this material as hypotheses to stress test in your own life, rather than untouchable scripture. The coherence of this operating system doesn't come from a linear plot. It comes from the deliberate repetition of a few core interlocking contrasts. Using this modular approach stops you from getting bogged down in theory. You can extract the specific logic you need and immediately apply actionable leverage to your current situation. Now, go to your open document, create 2 distinct columns. Label the first one, status and salary, and label the second, wealth and assets. Let's define what goes in that first column. As this chapter header outlines, cash flow from hard labor and social prestige are distinctly different from actual wealth. Now for the second column. This quote establishes the core rule of the Naval OS. Wealth consists exclusively of systems and assets that produce value continuously, even when you aren't actively working. To build those automated assets, you need a foundational input. This system calls it specific knowledge. Specific knowledge cannot be outsourced or automated by a standard workforce. Generic, trainable skills can be. Once you have your specific knowledge, you apply permissionless leverage. By writing software or recording media, you can scale your knowledge infinitely without requiring anyone else's approval. This is the hardest concept in the book. Once this video concludes, go to this specific URL, nav.al/specific-knowledge, to study this variable deeply. Mapping your assets in this module forces a pivot in your career strategy. You stop chasing a higher hourly rate, and you start building equity that scales indefinitely. Step 3 moves us from external systems to your internal state. On your document, write down one major professional or personal goal you are currently stressing over. We need to reframe that ambition. Type out this exact definition next to your goal. A desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. This brings us to the core operating rule of the happiness module. Happiness is absolutely not a reward you unlock after finally achieving worldly success. Look at this passage. It frames happiness as a habit problem and a set of trainable skills. It requires practice, identical in nature to physical fitness or daily nutrition. There is a provocative reversal here. Cultivating inner peace actually makes you more effective and competitive at achieving your goals, not less. You can find the mature articulation of this psychological practice right here. Go to nav.al/happiness to study it. Debugging this desire contract eliminates a massive source of self-sabotage. You stop treating ambition like a war, which leaves you with a peaceful mind that makes fewer impulsive mistakes. Look at the document you just built. You have a clear division of wealth versus status, a plan to build permissionless leverage, and a canceled desire contract. Running this operating system requires patience. The returns in wealth, knowledge, and trust compound disproportionately over long horizons and repeated interaction.